Carnaby Street. Right, let's go back to the map of London and mark off this episode's destination, Carnaby Street. I hope this map helps you build a picture of our journey around the streets of London and how close they are. So here we go, the location so far. Leicester Square, Oxford Street, Soho, Upper Street, Whitechapel, where Jack the Ripper haunted, Brick Lane and the Tower of London, Baker Street. This of course is the King's Gaff, Buckingham Palace. And here is Carnaby Street. Are we ready? Okay. Now, take a walk with me down Carnaby Street on a very sunny day in Soho, starting from Great Marlborough Street all the way down to Beak Street. Carnaby Street. This is my favourite way to enter Carnaby Street, coming from Oxford Street, which is just behind me. It's a strange place because it is famous for fashion when it should be famous for a medical breakthrough, or a scientific breakthrough really, that saved millions of lives around the world and is still being used today. The street was built around the 1600s and first appeared in historic records in 1687. It was tax records, believe it or not. It was made up of small houses and had a small market on it. However, Carnaby Street is famous for fashion in the 60s. But the person who started it all off was called John Stephen, later to be known as the King of Carnaby Street. But it all kicked off in the 50s. Soho back in those days was a bit, I'm going to say edgy, so as not to offend anyone. I caught the end of that time in Soho when I was younger, and I can tell you that walking through the area was a real eye-opener in those days.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Should we just stand in the shade here? Yeah.
In the 50s, there was a large community of gay people living in the area, and a photographer and fashion designer moved into Carnaby Street in 1954 to take advantage of some of the rag trade small factories that were already there to make his clothes, and he started making clothes for the local community. His name was Bill Green, known as Vince. He designed clothes for the gay community and was a male photographer. John Stephen was in Beak Street, and when his shop burnt down, he moved to Carnaby Street in 1957. John started a trend and a look. This look could only be found in Carnaby Street, and at the time, designers and other cool shops moved into the street to be part of this new growing 60s movement. Mary Quant later said that John Stephen invented Carnaby Street. It became the place to be seen in the 60s. Bands like the Rolling Stones and Small Faces would hang out there, and the first Cranks restaurant opened in 61, which helped spread vegetarianism to a wider Western audience. The 60s was known for its androgynous period of fashion, and Carnaby Street fitted in perfectly for that. You've only got to look at Mick Jagger from the 60s to see where he got his ideas from. Carnaby Street once had a road going down the middle of it, which I remember, but now it has gone and it's just a pedestrian area. Also gone are the little fashion shops and weird things and businesses that were down there. It just seems to be a tourist destination now, but it's still very nice. I remember it being so much more exciting and edgy. Even if you weren't cool, just walking down it made you cool. And if you were brave enough to go into one of the little shops and buy something that you actually wore, then you were cool. It was really an exciting place. In 1845, there was an outbreak of cholera in the area of London, affecting a few parishes around it. Many people were dying, and the authorities didn't know what to do. A doctor of the time, called John Snow, was concerned and started to look into the problem. He employed a method known as epidemiology, I think is how you say it, which is used today. I'll explain how it works because I'm not sure I pronounced that right. You plot the cases of a disease, and as you plot the cases, you can work out potentially where patient 0 was. And in this case, he tracked down a problem of a water pump on the corner of Carnaby Street and Broad Street. The pump was locked and the outbreak was quickly contained. Much was learnt from this episode, and John Snow's legacy has saved many people's lives over the years. The story is really interesting. It almost reads like a Sherlock Holmes story and is well worth looking into. Well, that was Carnaby Street as it is today. If you're ever in London, it might be worth a look. To be fair, it is worth a look because there's some interesting alleyways and roads and there's lots of nice places to eat. And Soho still is, for the history, is interesting to go and take a look at. Okay, well that's the end of Carnaby Street. And it seems a bit of a shame to end it there on such a lovely day. And I haven't really explained what I mean, have I, by the streets of Soho. So let's quickly take a look at some nearby streets. So here we are, we're at the bottom of Carnaby Street. So if we go right and along Beak Street, and then we'll just nip up a parallel road called Kingly Street, like here. These are the narrow streets of old London. You could easily miss things here. There are quite a few little places around Soho. This here is Kingly Court. Pretty, isn't it? There are loads of little places like this around London. You have to keep an eye out for them. Come on this way. This is Kingly Street, parallel to Carnaby Street. And from here you can return to Carnaby Street. You can have a lot of fun just wandering around London. Now that really is the end. See you next time in Covent Garden. Soon. And thanks for joining me today. Okay, take care. Bye bye.